Okay, so the recording is started. Um, so let's just go through the topic of HTML lists and tables. And for those of you who are not able to attend this office hours meeting because of any other reasons, like some of you just mailed me that they have classes clashing with this meeting. So I understand that, and I'll just post the recording, and I'll just make an announcement that where I'll be just putting this recording. Let me just share my screen. Okay, perfect. Can anyone just confirm if my screen is visible to you guys?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's just dive into the topic of HTML lists. If we talk about in most layman terms, what is a list, right? So we know that in our daily lives, we just encounter this word a list because, like, let's say suppose you have different kind of lists to maintain, right? You have list of your friends, the list of the references of your professor, list of telegram or telephone contacts, right? So in our day-to-day life, we also like sort of in our daily student life, we kind to maintain a to-do list kind of thing, right? So that it helps us to achieve our goals and just be in a proper organized manner. So if we talk about lists in HTML, so it's just as simple as that, as it means. It's just used for grouping related items on a web page. We'll just see the real life example of HTML lists where we are able to see in tons of websites nowadays. Without lists, creating well structured and easy to follow content on a website could be difficult. As we just see the hands-on implementation of writing the HTML code for lists, we'll get to know that like lists make our lives so much better because a just simple example, if you just see any website, take it the home page, right? So there you have the navigation bar. In that you see different kind of tabs such as home, about us, contact us, right? So all of that is created with the help of HTML lists. The basic foundation building block is HTML lists. We'll just learn more about the types of lists and like how the syntax and all everything with examples. So let's just go to the types of lists. There are two types of lists, mainly ordered list and unordered list. And ordered list is just, as the name suggests, it is just used to group a set of related items in a specific order. So, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, or A, B, C, D, right? And unordered list is the second type in which the ordering of the elements doesn't matter. So, for example, here we can see in the image that there's a particular order, right? Beetroot, ginger, potato, radish, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we just see the syntax, so for in the last recitations and lectures, we learned about few HTML tags, right? We were introduced for like some basic HTML elements or tags, right? B tag, which is the bold tag, header tags, H1, H2, H3, and so on and so forth. HR tag, right? Italic tag, all those tags. So for lists, in order to create lists, we come across this OL tag and LI tag. Now OL stands for ordered lists, and LI tag simply stands for list item. So what we do, like the syntax is same as we have been doing in past lectures. Like we start with the OL tag and then we end with the OL tag. Like this ending bracket is also important. And then in order to list each item, we use the LI tag. Don't worry, like if you are not getting it now from this presentation, we will be doing the hands-on implementation of the HTML code for HTML lists, so that you would get a clear picture and idea of what's going on. We just take like let's say all these examples are of, okay, let me just think for you guys it would be better, right? Perfect. So here you guys would be able to see in a proper view that there are different styles or type associated with the ordered lists. For example, if I want the ordering in numbers, so I would just associate this type attribute in the OL tag and I'll just write mention the type S1. I'll just get the default numbering 1, 2, 3, 4. If I don't write any kind of type, then obviously that's the default case. I would still get the numbering of the lists in terms of 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if I write the type as lowercase letter a, then I would get the type in the form of A, B, C, D, all in lower cases. Similarly, for capital case and like Roman numbers, if I write the type as uppercase I, then I would get the output of the list items in the form of uppercase Roman numbers. So I think this is just like what is it, right? Like there's nothing much more associated with the how we can just list the items, right? There's another attribute associated with the list is the start attribute. So as the name suggests, it's not necessary that always we just want our list items to start with 1, 2, 3, 4 or A, B, C, D, right? It's up to us depending on the requirement and the use case. We can just associate the attribute start, so that for example here it's written sorting algorithms, and it starts from 7, 8, 9, right? Here you would be able to see it's not starting from 1, 2, 3. So if I just write over start is equal to 7, then it will start from 7. Suppose here it's written start equal to 4, so it will start from 4, and so on and so forth. It will go in the sequence after 4. So yeah, we can mention type and start attribute both together in an OL tag. So I think yeah, that was just about the ordered list. Just we have to keep in mind that wherever the order is necessary, for example, there's a particular where the order is important or necessary. For example, there's a recipe of making a tea or anything else. So in that particular order is should be important. So we'll just use the ordered list. Otherwise, we'll just directly go for the unordered lists. Unordered list, as the name suggests, obviously it's just a collection of related items that have no special order or sequence. For example, you would be able to see the example over here in which there are different kind of vegetables: beetroot, ginger, potato, radish. All of them are listed, but you would be able to see that there's no kind of numbering associated with them, right? There are just simply bullet points. So now next question would be that, like, oh, so is there any kind of type or style or start attributed associated with the unordered lists? So the answer to that would be, like, if you just think logically, start attribute has nothing to do with the unordered list, right? We are not going in a particular sequence or something like that. But there is of course a style attribute or the type, we can say that, because we can just play with the shapes we want in front of the list items. For example, here we are just seeing the disc shaped of normal bullet points, but I can change this to a circle or maybe a square type shaped. We'll just see the syntax for that in a while. So if I just want to change the shape of the bullet points, I can just again, it's the same attribute called type. For unordered list, make sure only this thing will change. Here, instead of OL, you will write UL while opening the tags, right? That's just the difference between unordered and ordered list. But again, here we won't be writing type is equal to 1 or small case a, right? Here we would be mentioning disk or circle or square depending on our requirement. And here, like on the example, you would be able to see how the output is, like depending on the type we select. Mm, I think yeah, that was just about HTML lists. You would get a better understanding in a while if we just write a program. I'll just share the screen doing that, and hopefully, if you guys also want, then you can do together. S- Um, okay, okay. So let me just grab an example to this. Also, like, have you guys tried working with the HTML code in any editor, or you guys are just working in TextEdit or Notepad++? Anyone tried practicing the HTML codes or the examples or the tasks which were given to you? Oh, I'm not able to read the chat if you guys are writing something in the chat. Notepad. Okay. Okay, cool. from here, or like for this class, I'll be using VS Code, um, and you guys would be able to see the beautiful magic of VS Code. So I hope the editor screen is visible to you guys. So here, if I take this example, uh, and I just open my live server. Okay, cool. Boom. So this is just the normal basic web page which we used creating different kind of basic stuff which we learned in the last recitation using the different kind of tags. Here you can see we have used the pre-formatted text tags. Here I've used the italic tag. Here there's a horizontal ruler, and here we have used the list item. So what we'll do is just let me just comment the table for now. That we would be jumping in a while. Okay. Let me write office hours. So that would reflect over here. I'm not sure whether you guys are. Yes, office hours, right? Perfect. So let me comment this too. I just want you to give the example. I just want you guys to see the example of lists only. So yeah. So here you can see I've used the UL tag. This is for the unordered lists and the list items associated with it. So if I just save and click here, so the output we would get the list items, right? So there are different kind of list items, let's say coffee, tea, milk. But there's a slight change over here. If you see that tea has two kinds of subcategories, black tea and green tea. So for such a situation, what we can do is we can just always incorporate another UL tag inside the list item specific to which we want our subcategories to be displayed. For example, I want two different kind of subcategories called black tea and green tea inside the tea list item. So what I'll do is I'll just inside the li tag, I'll just write the unordered list. I'll just open another unordered list, and then like the syntax is the same as we follow, but after that we would be getting those two subcategories inside the list item tag T. So don't get confused here that like I've just opened the UL tag over here, and like why, how can we just open another UL tag inside the unordered list, right? So this is fine. It absolutely works. Depends on the requirement. So this was a just basic example of HTML lists, and I think there's nothing much more associated with it. If I just we talked about the type attribute, right? So suppose if I write type is equal, this is the unordered list. So if I write here over OL, right, instead of UL, and same thing over here, let's say OL, OL. Okay, so here notice that it has been changed to an ordered list, right, instead of the unordered list. So I want, suppose I just want the numberings for the outer list, just for coffee, tea, and milk, and not for black tea and green tea. Then we can do that as well. I'll just change this OL to UL and save the file. Make sure like every time you make any kind of modifications or changes to your HTML code, make sure you guys always save the file, and then only it would reflect to your browser. So here, so this is this thing which you see, it's the unordered list, and the outer list, it's the ordered lists. Suppose I want the numbering in the form of ABCD, so I can add the type attribute which we learned as type equal to A, and then I just need to save the file, and I'll get the numbering in the form of ABCDs. So I think that's it. To talk about HTML lists, let's just quickly move to HTML tables. Also, I think for section 13, guys, I mentioned about the resource, a very good resource called W3 Schools, right? For section 37 in my last recitation, I just forgot to mention the about this like beautiful resource which is very valuable, and like it's very handy, and like everyone in the world of web development who is a beginner or even working in the industry takes references from W3 School till date, and it has been updated recently, and you can find everything related to your HTML tutorial over here. So let's say I want to just learn about HTML lists. So I would just like there's a section over here in the left side. I'll just click HTML lists, and boom, here you'll get each and every information, how you get, there are different kind of types and how to get start, right? So one beauty of W3 schools is that it comes with a code validator for you guys. For example, if I just click on this example, so there's a button called try it yourself. If I click on try it yourself, it will just open its own code validator for me. I did not have to work on any kind of notepad application simultaneously. I can just try and edit my, okay, let me just quit this. I can just type and change my code and see the output, which is just side by side this, so it will get reflect very quickly. For example, here if I change um, something called coffee to tea, let's say, for example, so it would reflect over here if I click on run, right? So there's another type of list other than ordered and unordered lists, which is not very common, but we call it as description lists. Like, so in that, like as you can see from the example, let's say, let's just understand with the help of example only. So a description list means there's a heading. Ignore this h tag. We have just used the heading. So there are different kind of tags associated with the description list called DL, DT, DD, right? So all of these tags has a different kind of meaning. For example, DL tag defines the description list, as the name suggests. DT tag defines the name, term, like what actually is the item or the name of the item inside our description list. And DD tag describes each term. For example, over here, if I just open a description list, and inside our description list DL tag, if I write DT coffee, I'll just get the coffee. And inside that, if I just want to insert a text or something, some kind of description associated with our main DT tag, I'll just add a DD tag and say, like, let's say black hot drink or white cold drink inside the milk tag. So it's just a type of list which we studied, which will not have any kind of list item value in front of it. For example, 1 2 3 4 all bullet points, right? So it again depends on our use case, how you want it to be displayed. But I think, see, if we talk about HTML lists, so these are just the tags which you need to know. In case of HTML lists, we studied about UL tag, OL tag, LI tag, which is list item, and DT, DL, and DD for the description lists. So this is like it regarding the HTML lists topic. Let me just pause for a minute, and those who are present in the meeting, like, is there any kind of question, doubt, or query regarding the HTML lists topic? Mhm. Okay, I'm not able to see the chat.
No.
Okay, like, please, like, don't write anything in the chat. If there's anything, then just raise your hand, or simply just you can just unmute yourself and ask the question. Let's just quickly move to the topic of HTML tables, and then I think we are good to go. And then I'll just stop the recording, and we'll just take the doubts of the students. um okay, so HTML tables, it's like, it's also like very easy and not that difficult. Let's just again try to understand with the help of an example, so that uh it would be easier for you to just see the output and understand the HTML code, right? So if we talk about the tables, there are different kind of tags associated with HTML tables. For example, uh, first things first, what comes in our mind when we first hear of tables, right? Anything. There are only two values associated with tables, called rows and columns, right? Tables is just made of rows and columns. So we just have to keep that thing in mind, that any kind of table which we want to create, it would have just rows and column values. So first things first, the syntax starts from the root tag, which is the main element of our HTML table, called the table tag. So we'll just start the table tag and we'll just end the table tag, and in between of these table tags we will write our whole code for inserting or outputting the displaying the values of table rows and columns and headers. We'll just learn different kind of other tags which are used inside the table tag. For example, if we talk about the tr tag, that should be the table row tag, because every table has a row. For example, if we just look at in here the output, there are uh, there are three columns: company, contact, and country, and two rows associated with it. These are the two rows which have values for those column fields. But if we just look at it in a like proper larger view, we can see that there are three rows in total, right? Because the first row has the values of the column names called company, contact, and country. So if I just open the table tag, and if I first things first, I would write is the table row, because uh, like we will go row wise. So for example, if I row the tr tag, open the tr tag, which stands for table row, and inside that, if I just if I have to write different row values, right? So there are different kind of tags used for that. For example, tr, as I mentioned, stands for table row. Td stands for table data, right? So if and only if our first row has a column value, then we can write th, which stands for table heading. For example, here our table headings are company, contact, and country. So I would write all these three names inside th tag. Suppose if I just write td tag over here instead of th tag, so boom, so it will, for I just change it for the company, right? So it will just consider it as a normal data, and it would not be like in a center form or in bold. So it would not differentiate us knowing it's the name of the column, right? So see, again, this is the beauty of w3 schools. Whatever changes you make in the code, like within fraction of seconds, you guys are able to view the output. So it is a great medium for you guys to just practice in the initial level of your learning, right? So again, let me change this to table heading. Okay, so I think this is like self explanatory and understood. If we talk about the next row, which is the names or the values associated with these columns. So again, here we would just use the td tag, and we will just fill our values or the information inside the td tags. So for these two rows, 1 and 2, we would be using again the same kind of syntax and everything. We'll just have to incorporate our details. For example, if I want to add one more row inside this table, let me just simply copy this, and company, let's say, let me write Rutgers over here. Contact, let me add my name. Country, let's say US, and if I run this, boom, so here I'm able to see that we added just one more row to this table. And it's very simple, like there's nothing much more, or like not more changes required. um like if you have any questions regarding this, what attribute this is, like with our table, don't worry about this is part of css styling. But like just to uh give you a basic understanding that there are different kind of attributes associated with our tags, right? In the lists tab chapter also, we learned about type attribute or the start attribute. So the style attribute helps us just to how we want the look of the visual appearance of our table or web page, right? So if I just remove this attribute from here and I run, so it will just output it in its original default form. But we just added a type attribute over here called style, and with which we are able to achieve a good width of 100%, so that it will just cover the whole width of our web browser. So that there are different kind of ways in which we can just manipulate our styling stuff, and not worry about that currently. Let's just understand the basics of html elements, and I think, yeah, you're good to go after that if you just grab a basic understanding of that.
I have a
And
question.
uh-huh, yep.
So, do you see where it says a basic HTML table?
Oh, this one.
How would I
Mm-hmm.
get that centered?
Okay, so you like, if you want it to be a center, you would add different kind of tags. Suppose I would like, there are different kind of style tags. Again, if I mentioned about css, right? So you would add a style tag over here, and there are different kind of tags associated. For example, I think this should be the case, or okay. So again, need not worry about that, because if you want this element to be in the center, there are different kind of tags. Again, that's part of CSS, but not the basic HTML. But like there's something called as padding, right? Row padding, left side padding, right side padding, margin. So all with all of these things, we can just play with it, and we can just center the any kind of element which we want. So I think, yeah, with the help of CSS, we can center this, we can change the font of this, we can change the font size, we can like add a color to this font, right? We can do anything which we want, anything with CSS. Anything else regarding HTML tables? Okay. Mm, Let me try this thing over here. Let's say, for example, if I write, Mhm. I think, yeah, this is just part of your CSS. And if I just like, there are tons and tons of different kind of ways, as I mentioned earlier. So if you just want to center any kind of text, so if I write something style equal to text align, and I just put the value as center, it will just get in like center, right? So if you want anything to be get centered, you can just add this style. But again, need not worry about the styling stuff. As for your assignment and in this current progress of your course, our main focus is just to learn about the CSS, or about the HTML, right? So I hope that answers your question. And what else? I think, yeah, I just wanted to cover this because regarding your of assignment number 2, these two things are required, right? Let's just take the last example of a table, and then we're good to go. For example, if I just comment this out and I run our browser, right? So this is our small, cute, tiny little table, um, which says, which has like 3 rows. Out of the 3 rows, the first row is our heading, the name of the column, city, and population, and it has two different kind of rows with as it for as its values, right? So again, like if we just look at this code for this output, it's pretty much straightforward as we just saw in the previous example, right? Again, there's another attribute called as border. If I just write border equal to, let's say, 3, and I save the file, so notice that this border of the table gets a little like more weight, right, to it. If I write border equal to, let's say, 5, again, so it's become more darker, right? So it's just that how you want it to be. So let's just keep it 1 for now, so it would look good. And there's another tag in HTML called as the caption tag. So instead of the h1 tag, let's just understand the difference between caption and h1 tag. If I write the same text inside of h1 tag, boom, is there any difference? This is the h1 tag, this is our caption tag. So like, from seeing the example, you guys would be able to differentiate that the caption tag just it's just displayed in exactly in above the table, right? Just above the table. So it's like a heading of the table, or generally, like how does this look like? Let's say if I comment the h1 tag, um, and caption tag, okay. how does this look like? You don't have any information about the table, what this table is, and like any no idea, right? So it's always a good practice whenever you are just writing a table, and if necessary you just incorporate a caption tag so that the viewers would just get an idea about the table. So I think it's 2:36 and we are done with like just knowing the basics and everything about HTML lists and tables. Make sure you guys um, just start with your assignment. And I made an announcement for section 13 regarding the attendance marking policy. I hope you read that announcement too. And I think, yeah, that's it for this class. I'll just post this recording over here, like if you go to your files and if you click on recitation information, and there you'll just find the folder of my name. If you click on Surjak, you would see here like section 13 and section 37. Let's say you are in section 13, so I'll just upload this recording in recitation 2 folder. Okay, let's say you are in section 37, so I'll just upload this recording in the same folder called recitation 2 for you guys. So I hope that's clear too. Okay, I'll just stop the recording. Okay, so do you guys have any kind of doubt, questions, concerns, queries regarding anything which we learned so far?
No.
Okay, so you guys are good to go. If you don't have any kind of questions, then you can leave, or if there's anything which I can assist, so you guys can stay. Have a good day. Enjoy. Hope to see you soon next week recitations.
Thank you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Would I be able to speak with you privately to go
Mm-hmm.
over my question?
Mm-hmm. No problem. Yep.
Okay.
I think there's a way of creating a breakout room over here. Let me just check that.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Breakout session. Okay. Okay, I think everyone left. So,
Okay, so can I share my screen? I'm in the middle of doing assignment 2.
okay.
Um, hold on, I might have to leave it and come back to
No problem. I'm here.
Okay, I think I got it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to make the table for assignment 2, but I don't know how to set it up.
Okay. So I would suggest you, like, rather than me assisting you directly in this assignment, I would recommend you to just have you like take the references from W3 schools or any other resources.
Yeah, I tried to do that, but I don't know what is going on here. Like where it
Okay.
says style.
Mm-hmm.
like I have to have the pet comparison as I think a caption on top of the table, and I don't know
Um,
how to do that.
so like currently, what issues are you facing and what things are like not going well, or what things are you are not understanding properly in terms of the topic or HTML table?
It's basically just how, like, I have to get it like this down
Uh-huh.
here, and I
Uh-huh.
don't know how to get the pet comparison right on top of it.
Got it. So for that, we learned something just a couple of minutes ago, right? Did you see that example of NJ? Um, just let me get that, of city population, major cities in US.
I think so.
So in that, I mentioned something about a tag called caption, right? There are different kind
Uh-huh.
of tags. So if you can just learn more about the caption tag. If you just write something in your caption tab, it will just um, put that information above your table. And I did not get that. Like, why did you put the style tag? Like, from where you got the style tag over there? Yeah.
That was from the example on the W3 schools. I thought that was how I have to set it up.
Like the example of W3 school, like it had the style tag. You mean to say?
Yeah. I don't know how to put a table into a document that I already have. I only know how to start the table when I don't have anything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, see, the thing is that, like, of course, you are allowed to just refer anything else, but make sure the everything you use as part of your assignments, it should be something which has been taught by a professor or by me during your recitation hours or office hours or anything. Other than that, if something is not taught in the class, then make sure you avoid to use that, because that might affect your grades or something like that. Because as far as I know, like, we never start any kind of table creation with the help of style tag, right?
Okay.
So make sure, like, even if you are taking any kind of references, just make sure you understand what that example means and for what purpose it has been created, right? So
Mm-hmm.
a couple of times we find that, oh, something like this is what is asked to complete, and we'll just find a similar example. We'll just copy paste the stuff. I'm not saying that you just did that same thing, but like from my experience, I've seen, like, when I was studying during my undergrad studies, so we people used to do certain kind of stuff, right? So it's important that we understand, like, even if we are taking references, we understand stuff like what we are writing to achieve our end goal, right?
Yeah. So then how would I start this table? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do that right now.
So you said you looked on W3 School, right?
Yeah.
So can you just open the W3 School site?
Yeah. So I was on the W3 schools to try to figure out how to start the table, and that's what I was trying to do.
Mm-hmm. So can you just open the W3 School site?
Yeah. I don't know how to share that.
Yeah, I can see this screen. You can just add a new tab to this page, to this window. Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
can see my
Yeah.
canvas right now?
Right. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I was here, and
So
then
yeah, where's the style tag over here?
the style was from the example that you were just showing with the basic HTML table that you had on here. That was what I got that from.
Okay.
When I asked like how to center the basic HTML on top of it,
Okay.
that was what you were showing.
Oh, that I use inside the tag, and like not above the, like, we don't have to use the style tag as a separate element, right? We just
Mhm.
have to insert it as an attribute inside the table tag, first table tag. Above that, yes, when you end the table tag with the bracket, angular bracket, right one, just before that, you insert the style tag,
So right here I would put the style.
right? No, no, not that, not there. inside the table tag only. Like let's say after the letter E of table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, perfect. Over there.
So
Space,
would I
can
put, okay, and then
style
style.
equal to, yeah, it's showing you, right? So there are
Yeah.
different kind of options in the VS Code editor. You can add margin, padding, border, width, color, background color, font size, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but need not worry about that. Just like if it's asked explicitly in your assignment, then you can use it. It's up to you. You can use different kind of styling elements if it's known to you, but otherwise just do as the assignment requirement says.
Okay, so then if I start my table, then where do I put the pet comparison? Where would I put that in my code?
Oh, like sorry, I didn't get you. The pet comparison means?
Yeah, right here where it says pet
Oh, you just
comparison
have to put the text above your um
above the
table,
table.
above the table.
So it would go here, and it would just be a heading.
No, for that you can again. I just mentioned that thing few minutes ago, that how you can just incorporate anything above your table. There are different kind of text associated with it, right? Like H1 caption, so that you can just take references or see the recording, and you'll get to know like how you can just uh, put the text above the table, right?
So it would just be a caption.
You can try that out if you want. Also, like, have you installed the extension called Live Server?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Have you installed an extension called Live Server?
No.
Okay, so just click on the in the left side panel. Can you see the different kind of options below the search bar, extreme left, in the VS Code editor? VS Code editor. Perfect. Down, down, down. Yes,
This?
extensions. Click on extensions. Search for Live Server. Yep, the first one. Install it. Perfect. Now you'll just see the magic of live server, or just go to your HTML file. It's installed. Just cancel, like cross the window from above.
Close this.
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
Open it. You can just click on extensions again. Click on extensions. Perfect. Now, wait, wait. Crossbar, like in the above, in the up side, right, right.
Here?
Welcome. Can you see the welcome tab?
No. Oh,
Welcome. Yeah,
this?
yeah. Cross. Close this window or welcome. Close this.
Okay.
Again, in the right, extreme right, can you see extension live server?
Yeah.
Close this tab too. Yeah, close this. Okay, so here you are. If you click on go live, down there, extreme bottom right,
Bottom right?
go live, right side.
Oh,
Perfect.
okay.
Click on go live, open a folder workspace. So you just have to open a folder or file. I think save this file. Can you just save this file? Are you using a Mac, right? Command S.
A Mac.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So again, click on go live. Okay, so you like, I don't know, like, have you created a folder or just directly working on a file over here? So you would first create a folder, and inside that folder you would add this HTML file. Only then it will work, right? You can just name it
So,
anything you want, and inside this folder add that HTML file.
like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I trust the authors. Perfect. But now let like, can you just go into the directory? No, no, not like this,
Oh.
but it will just show empty stuff. Like, just open your home directory. Where like you created this live code folder in your desktop or the downloads?
On my desktop.
Desktop. So can you just open that? Can you just show me? Perfect. Where's the HTML file?
I don't know where it is.
Can I think it should be in your download folder, or can you just click on download? Can you open the download folder?
Download folder? Yeah.
I think is it tables1a.html? Recents in your recents. Is it tables1a.html?
Tables 1 HTML?
Yeah, is this the file you're talking about? Like is this the file you were working on VS Code editor?
No, I'm currently working on assignment 2.
Yeah, but what was the name of the file? Like for the code which you showed me earlier.
Pet,
What
pet
So add
recommendations.
this pet recommendations.html in your folder called live code which you created, which is on your desktop.
I don't see it on my desktop right
So
now.
where is it now? Should be in your downloads then. Like
So
just
go to my downloads.
live code. Okay. So now in your VS Code, open that pet recommendations.html file. Okay, boom.
Okay.
Click on live server. Okay, it's already open. Go to your web browser. Can you see that? Okay, now boom. So this is the magic of live server, right? Need not have to just click every time.
So now it just saves my file automatically? Is
Yep,
that
right. For example, let's say go on your VS Code editor. Let's say you make any changes over here and you just have to save by pressing Command S, and every time you save, that changes will reflect in your browser.
okay?
For example, you can just add a head tag called hi just to check or anything.
So now I have another question. Do comments show in your website?
No. And to add
So
that, there's a shortcut to add a comment. How do you add the comment? You just type,
isn't
right?
it
That
what
bracket,
I just
exclamatory
did?
mark, hyphen, hyphen. Every time you add a comment, you just type it, right? Manually.
Okay. So then how do I do a caption? Is that just caption?
That you can just try to search on Google or maybe see the recording. I just covered it in the recording.
Okay.
You were present, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you.
And like to just like if you want to add a comment, for example, let's say write anything over, right? You can just type random stuff, just write anything.
Okay. Right now?
Mm-hmm. Anything like my name is or blah blah blah, anything. You can write your name in your editor. No brackets, no brackets, nothing. Just write simply normal your name. Okay, perfect. Can you press command and slash, the slash with the question mark, that slash.
Okay.
Perfect. This
So
is the
that's
shortcut to add the command. If you press that command again, command will go command slash. Perfect. So I think, yeah, this is just I wanted to tell you. I hope this helps. Got it?
yep.
Awesome.
Thank
So
you.
no problem. You're in section 13 or section 37?
13.
13. So how's it going so far? So far, so good. Like,
No.
are you liking the asynchronous environment of the class?
No.
Okay, like
I'm
so.
just having a hard time figuring out where everything is. It's like everything's connected
Yeah,
in
I understand.
campus.
So like, make sure like I think you'll get to it in coming weeks. But if there's any question or queries, just you can just ping me on my email ID, and I'll try my best to assist you. And make sure you are watching Professor Hadu's recordings, right?
Yep.
Awesome, perfect. So all the best for your assignment too. See you soon during next office hours or lab support hours.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
No problem. Bye bye.
That was so painful.